In today's video, we want to talk about DevOps, and specifically how DevOps is changing organizations. We've been doing DevOps-like functions for years. We just didn't call it that. We called it build engineering, CI/CD, and included automation engineering, infrastructure design, governance, assurance, and release management. Much of it concerned tackling the chaos caused by multiple teams accessing multiple environments for multiple purposes. Our approach to this has always been to automate. Any process is just a series of steps. We may not know what all the steps are, and we may be unclear on where they begin and end. So we start by taking something that we know, something time-intensive or subject to manual error or particularly difficult in some ways, and we find a solution, and we automate it. And now, of course, everyone knows how to do that part of the process. And we go back and we repeat and gradually add more and more automation. And so we worked incrementally towards a happier, more successful and less stressful existence. We even formed an Estafet practice to help us consolidate our learning, best practices and share innovations between teams so that our customers could benefit from our collective wisdom. And this got us thinking beyond automation to the principles underlying a healthy DevOps culture. And we came up with 3 characteristics, which we've called shift left, transform and ops right. Shifting the operation processes left into the build pipeline and promoting the ops guys into higher functions such as policy-driven architecture and automation engineering on the right. And whether or not this was successful depended on your ability to transform. To succeed, the organization must adapt to accommodate changes demanded by DevOps. Organizations that won't adapt will not receive the benefits, and individuals who won't adapt have no place in the new culture. Looking at these in more detail, we begin looking at what can be automated. Small, targeted automation scripts are easy, but what about the large end-to-end processes? And so to make this possible, we need commonality across software development, including standards, libraries of scripts from the toolbox, generic components which bake in standards and therefore aid reuse, domain-specific components, test automation strategies, small-scale orchestration delivering on a specific need, automation processes, and repeatable release processes. This hopefully gives the ability to embrace change, and changes are going to be coming in quickly, so we have to be able to react quickly. Multiple disciplines can be shifted left, including networking, security, storage, virtualization, and so on. And there's also much we can do around enterprise services, including naming systems, binary repositories, code repositories, monitoring, and so on. Transformation, we found, is more of a mind shift. Ops people who are in the middle of this process are going to be pushed, either left, right, or out. App development teams are going to have to adapt to new ways of working. And in our experience, it's never a big bang. It's far better to start with a DevOps strategy on a single system and then to adapt, develop and understand it before migrating systems across one at a time. So what happens to the guys on the right? The ones who used to do repetitive tasks before they were automated? Well, they now move right into higher value functions such as automation engineering, governance and infrastructure design and architecture. This can mean redefining their roles or simply reducing the number of staff required to run the newly automated ecosystem. This is partly why companies are embracing containerization and PaaS. You can manage more with far fewer people on less infrastructure. So what should you do now? Or put simply, automate everything. If you've got a difficult problem, work out the solution and automate it so that everybody can do it. Similarly, make the processes repeatable, bake in standardization, and ensure conformance with all the requirements. We treat DevOps as a development project or a set of development projects. We use source control to install the scripts, code, and configuration. We test the logic embedded in the scripts, and we do regular releases to ensure stable points of operation. Essentially, we work hard to make life easier.